This is the fourth iteration of our engagement as national government with our provinces. Our journey of engagement with our provinces started with Limpopo, thereafter KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. This was inspired by the need to deepen and broaden the intergovernmental relationship and ensure that we, as national government, take time to visit our provinces rather than just to expect our provinces to come to us in Pretoria or Cape Town all the time. So we're taking a great deal of time to go throughout the country, and we will do so once a year. And every year we will, during the life of the administration, give ourselves the opportunity to see how far our provinces are moving, and as far as executing their aspirations and their ambitions, and also identify areas where we can work together and support one another in line with the precepts of our Constitution. These engagements, in our view, are crucial in strengthening the intergovernmental cooperation as well as the collaboration process, and also extending the consultation aspect of enhancing our relationship, both national and provincial. And this obviously cascades down to our metros and our local government spheres as well. They are important for ensuring better alignment of provincial priorities with the priorities of the government of national unity. We therefore welcome the commitment that was made by Premier Panyaza Lesufi. Andre, I might have to add, during the address of the State of the Nation of the province, that Gauteng is fully aligned to the strategic priorities of the medium-term development plan adopted at national level by Cabinet, and that it is also fully aligned with the priorities that are set out in the medium-term development plan. Firstly, to drive inclusive growth and to create jobs. And secondly, to reduce poverty and to tackle the high cost of living that our people are living under. And thirdly, to build a capable, ethical, efficient, and developmental state. Cooperative governance, in the end, is a constitutional principle. It requires that as different spheres of government, we should cooperate with one another in a mutual trust and in good faith. We must assist and support each other and coordinate our actions. And I should say this is not a one-way street type of relationship. It works both ways. We are meeting in Human Rights Month, which is dedicated to celebrating and actively promoting the protection and advancement of the human rights of all South Africans. March is a very important month in the life of our country. The observance of Human Rights Month is particularly relevant in the context of our discussions today. The right to water, right to sanitation, to healthcare, to housing, to education, all these are fundamental to the well-being of our communities. And they are well located amongst the G13 issues that the Premier articulated. It is our duty to ensure that these rights are not just enshrined and set out in our Constitution, but that they are actively realized through the tangible and impactful service delivery actions that we need to take. People should not only be aware of their right to these services, but they should actively experience them. They should feel that these rights are being practiced and executed to advance their lives on a daily basis. We therefore have to continue to harness the power of collaboration, of cooperation, to overcome whatever obstacles that may stand in the way, to implement sustainable solutions that will uplift the lives of our communities. Now, through unity and action, we must create a future where the rights of South Africans are upheld and where every citizen is able to access quality services that they rightly deserve. The district development model, which we introduced in the previous administration, remains our guiding framework for cooperative governance as well as for service delivery. And indeed, it is an important instrument for helping to resolve the challenges that many of the structures of our government are facing. This model has fundamentally shaped how we operate, fostering coordination, enhancing integration, and ensuring that there is efficiency across all spheres of government. In many ways, the district development model is about how we conduct ourselves in government, and indeed, if you look across, you'll find that our country is littered with initiatives of collaboration, initiatives of working together, and that is what the district development model is all about. Premier, we also agree with you that if we do not move with speed to address the critical challenges identified in the State of the Province address, we risk undermining the progress that we have made thus far. There are recurring problems across Gauteng. Some of these include the issue of governance failures, that is. Some of them include financial management or mismanagement. Some of them include crumbling infrastructure, crime and lawlessness, as well as unreliable service delivery. These are the challenges that are also articulated in your G13 list, which you correctly say if we do not address, we will not have served our people well. Our greatest challenges in Gauteng and across the country are, in the end, unemployment and poverty. These are the challenges we all must face head on, or better still, we must face down. Gauteng's unique position in the national landscape is both an opportunity and a challenge. While it may be the smallest province in our nation in terms of land size, it is the giant in many other respects. It has gigantic proportions. Gauteng contributes to the largest share of any province of the country's gross domestic product. It is the single most critical economic hub in the country, serving as a powerhouse of finance, governance, industry, and innovation. The economic success of Gauteng is in the end integral to the economic success of our country. If Gauteng fails, South Africa cannot succeed. Within this dynamic province are amongst South Africa's largest and most influential cities: Johannesburg, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, each playing an important role in shaping our national and continental economic trajectory. Johannesburg, as the financial capital of Africa, is home to this Johannesburg Stock Exchange and is headquarters of numerous multinational corporations. It is a city of commerce, it is a city of investment and economic dynamism. Tshwane is the administrative center of our country, housing key government departments, foreign embassies, and institutions that shape national policy and governance. It is the anchor of South Africa's public administration. Ekurhuleni is the industrial and manufacturing powerhouse, driving logistics, production, and trade that sustains not just Gauteng but the entire country's supply chains. It is here in Gauteng where our policies, where our plans and commitments must in the end translate into action. The Gauteng economy has grown quite exponentially, and it needs to grow faster than the national economy. As you said last week, Premier, this is indicative of the economic strength and resilience of our province here in Gauteng. We welcome Gauteng's plans to build on the success of the South African Investment Conference and host the inaugural Gauteng Investment Conference in April in 2025. Gauteng's plans to accelerate and strengthen the township economy, the agro-processing and SMME development can accelerate economic growth and create thousands of jobs. We eagerly anticipate the forthcoming presentation from the province, which will provide valuable insights into the key priorities that you have identified, but also the challenges that you are having to deal with, but also focusing more on the opportunities that you have identified that lie ahead. What emerges from this meeting must not remain as just plans on paper. What we should emerge with as we all interact as national government and provincial government in the form of our various national government departments, also our provincial departments, must be concrete plans that we will put in place, concrete plans that will have time frames. The outcomes of this meeting must be transformed into practical as well as measurable interventions that directly benefit the people of Gauteng. Now, through a collaborative and solutions-oriented approach, we must be committed to drive sustainable development and also focus on service delivery and enhance the quality of life of all who call this province their home. It is an important and key moment that we need to seize. But as we seize it, we must ensure that we embark on initiatives that are going to be demonstrable, that are going to be clearly visible to our people as initiatives that will lead to the improvement of their lives. And this determination needs to be spread out amongst all of us. We also need, as national government, yes, to work with you, to assist you, as you begin to showcase what Gauteng can offer, what Gauteng is all about as well. This year we have the opportunity here in Gauteng to host the G20. The G20 will manifest itself in almost 130 meetings. Some of these meetings will happen here in Gauteng, either in Ekurhuleni, in Johannesburg, in Tshwane, and perhaps in Sedibeng as well. Now, as these meetings happen, Premier, it is the opportunity for Gauteng to gear up, to demonstrate that we did not make a mistake by choosing Gauteng to be the host of the G20. Seems like people don't like what I'm saying now. That we were correct in identifying Gauteng and particularly Johannesburg to be the host of the G20. And in fact, it should be seen as a Gauteng opportunity, because even as people come here, they first land at OR Tambo, go through Ekurhuleni, go to Tshwane, and then come for some meetings here in Johannesburg. So in the end, it is a Gauteng G20. And it therefore requires that Gauteng must showcase itself. And when I say showcase itself, I mean to the world. The eyes of the world will be rained on Gauteng. They will be rained on Johannesburg. And Johannesburg and Gauteng must be at its best in terms of the physical presentation, in terms of the environmental presentation, in terms of the built-up environment where the meetings are going to take place. I say so advisedly because when we go to other locales around the world to hold various meetings, we find that those places are in tip-top position. Not the TikTok. Tip-top position, where those countries showcase precisely what they are able to offer. And that in itself doesn't end there. It means that there can be continuity. Tourism can then flow from those types of meetings for first-time visitors to our country. I always tell them that by being in South Africa, from wherever they will have come, there are almost 40 countries that often come, because it's the G20 countries, and then there are others that are invited. So in the end, you end up with some 40, maybe even 50 or 60 countries that are often present, including global institutions as in the World Bank, IMF, the World Health Organization, you name them, the ILO, they are all there all the time. And they have different people who may not have come to South Africa at any time. So I often tell them that they have now fulfilled, their own lives, in that they've now come to the best country that there is in the world, and tell them that their lives were incomplete by not being to South Africa. Now that they've come here, their lives are complete. But in saying so, I need to be boastful on something that is real. So I'm making a call to all of you in Gauteng, as well as in the metros. Let us make our metros presentable. We are the president of the G20, all of us collectively, one and all. And as we are going to be getting visitors throughout the year, let us make our province and indeed our country presentable. As we do in African tradition, when visitors come, we make sure that our abode, poor as it might be, becomes presentable, gives a good look feel, and also that hospitality that we roll out, the friendly disposition that we all have. The G20 also gives us an opportunity for the name of Gauteng and indeed Johannesburg to be inscribed in the history of the world. We will emerge out of here with the Johannesburg Declaration, a declaration that will number a number of pages, 100 and more, that deals with a number of key issues that affect what happens in the world. It will be crafted here, and so Johannesburg therefore needs to create the necessary environment and the necessary conditions for us to be able to proudly say, yes, South Africa and Johannesburg and Gauteng once hosted the G20. It will take another 25 years before it comes back to South Africa. So this is a historic moment for us, and I'd like us to play the part. I should say, because sometimes it's good to be direct and to tell it as it is, I should say that one or two meetings of the G20 that I attended here was not very pleasing. The environment that one observed was not a pleasing environment. I say this so that we can improve immensely. As South Africans, we are proud people, and let us get that pride that we have, self-pride, lift us up so that we do present a G20 that will wow people, so that when people look at what we offer and present, they must just say, wow, this is how South Africans do it. So colleagues, I'm really pleased to be here, together with members of the National Executive, as in ministers and deputy ministers, as well as directors general. I look forward to our exchange whenever we've met the other provinces. There have been issues that have been identified that we've been able to take forward, to embark on, to help provinces to execute the ambitions that they have set out for themselves. So this is an important day for us. Let us spend time and talk directly on issues that are important to advance the interests of our people. So thank you very much for being here, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President, for setting the tone.
Let's sit down.
I couldn't sleep before you arrived here. Thank you very much once again, Your Excellency, for mapping out the purpose for today. We will give the opportunity to the media to wind up and